Yesterday night, we visited Ida's family in Reader Grits. The mother is passing away. Their mother is passing away, but still still breathing. Just like she's leaving very soon, and she's 90 plus, 97. And this morning we have Sim Bekyu. This is Yip's wife, uncle, so 85. Now, if you were to gauge by the age, we can't do it. We are uncertain about the age or how long we're going to live on earth as a human being. So that coincides with what the Buddha is saying. Life is uncertain. Our life is so uncertain. We cannot predict how long we're going to live on earth. And that is why the Buddha always advises us not to be complacent. Do good, avoid evil, and purify the mind. And do good. That what are the goodness you've been performing all this while? And some people, they like to do dana. Some people, they like to do chanting. And some people, they might like meditations. Right? And all these are meritorious deeds to prepare our mind. So that when all this kind of uncertainty that happen in our life, we are prepared. And we can prepare by, I will say, doing dana. And that can only enable you to have abundant wealth in whatever realms you are born. Every time you are born, you are equipped with abundant wealth. You're not poor, you have all this good food, good clothing, lodging, and all the requisites that is never lacking. And of course, if you need to have a healthy body, that's why we need to observe your precept. Because why? If you to reflect, people are born with different kinds of deformity, deforms, handicap, blind, deaf, dumb, right? Why? Because of the precept, because of the karma they've committed in the past. And we are very blessed that we are born with a very healthy body, with all the 32 parts intact. And we mustn't be ignorant, mustn't be complacent, observe the precept, and cultivate our mind. Now, this is the hardest part. The cultivation of the mind, meditation, sitting in meditations is the hardest part. And this is the part with lots of people, they don't know what to do. Or even they do, they give up easily. Because of why? Because of these hindrances that is in each individual's mind. And especially, we call it troubled mind. A mind that's full of wandering thoughts, full of thinking, think, never stop. So we need to train the mind. We need to meditate. We need to sit down and meditate by watching the breath, by using the most important thing in your life to anchor your mind. Don't let your mind be so crazy about external things. Right? If without this breath, this breathing, there's no meaning at all to our existence as a human being. No meaning at all. If you got no breath, that means you are pronounced dead. And yet, we have overlooked. Our mind is more engrossed with external things rather than our mental wealth, this mental happiness. And what to do, because human beings have these three: greed, hatred, and delusion, these three poison in our mind. And this three poison has been powering or engineering our life. And most people, when they have these three poison, too much poison in their mind, they go crazy. They go crazy. Their life will be miserable. So miserable. Right? They cannot think properly. That's why we need the Dhamma. We are so lucky we have the Dhamma still present in this world. We have all these books, all these teachers, all these preachers, practitioners, life example that we can follow. This is something we say hands-on. Right? Lots of people, they read a lot of books. They have a lot of abundant knowledge about the Dhamma. They can describe things so perfectly, but when it comes to the practice of meditation, sitting down, calming the mind, they can't do it. Because why? Because the mind is crazy. It's so uncertain. They keep thinking. And they thought they know. In fact, they know nothing but knowledge. It's not the real thing. They can't even know how to properly direct the mind to a state of concentration by watching the breath. Right? They can't even be mindful of the breath. And one moment, they are watching the breath. And one moment, simultaneously, our mind is thinking of things. Endless thinking. Because of this habitual thinking we have since our day of the birth, the mind has been thinking all this while, non-stop. And that's why we find it so difficult when we want to sit and meditate. The mind just becomes so rebellious. Just don't want to meditate. And they keep telling we don't need to meditate. Actually, we don't have to sit. That is the excuse of the defilement who bluff The mind to tell you don't need to meditate. Open eye, you can see the Dhamma already. And people has been believing it, better than the Buddha. The Buddha said, go to close your eye. Sit like a Buddha image, leg cross. Straighten your back. Left hand over your right hand over the left hand. Either full lotus or half lotus. Straighten your back. Watch the breath. Have less commitment to the external things so that your mind can calm down. You look at the sutta, it has been written so clearly, and we never want to do. We thought that never mind, we do other things. And then when we come to exposures to problem in our life, our mind cannot calm down. We are in the chaotic state. We are so worried. We become uncontrollable to our emotions. We're helpless. We thought that by relying on the medicine can help us. No, our mind, only the Buddha medicine, meditation, cultivation of the mind, mindfulness training, concentration training, precept training, then it will help our mind, nothing else. No other thing externally can help our mind except this training. Remember, don't think that the other thing can help you. How can they help us? They can't help. You see, people who are rich, they're only happy for the moment. They look at the number of the account, that's all. They're happy for a split second of happiness, and God, it's number. It's nothing stay first. Nothing can stay in our mind. So not like meditations, watching the breath. When your mind calm down, you see the calmness that stay within the mind, the rapture, the pity, the happiness that arise within your mind. This is something you don't need money. You don't need external thing. Only your body, your breath, and your mind. You have all these three things already. You don't need to borrow, don't have to take bank loan, don't have to worry people will snatch away from you. We have all these things already. Just put them together and sit and meditate, that's all. And yet people find so hard. They find so hard because of the defilement, because of the craving, keep going outside, keep running outside. That's how our mind. It's like a monkey, the Buddha says. So hard to train, like monkey. Keep jumping up and down. Even the tie strings also jump. So the string refer to what? The string refer to mindfulness, our breath, mindfulness of the breath. The string is like what? The breath. Your awareness, you bring your attention to the breath and tie it there. And in no time, when mind will come to a state of calmness. And you will know the contrast of a thinking, agitated mind, non-stop thinking mind, and a mind that is quiet in calmness. Then you find the real happiness. Wow, this is something the Buddha said, Nati Santi Paramang Sukhang. Calm, peacefulness and calmness is the highest happiness. Paramang Sukhang, highest happiness. And you can't dispute. We can't dispute. You can think about, oh, I have all these things. I have money, I have status, I have name. Are you happy? No. You see all these people, politicians, all these rich men outside, are they happy? No, they're not happy at all. The mind keep wanting more things. They are feeling so insecure. They want more things. They feel so insecure. But you look at the Buddha got everything the Buddha don't want. Let go. And then go for something without material gain. That is the mental happiness. And it's stated so clearly. The real happiness is to find the happiness within your own mind. A lot of people dispute, how can that be? Cannot be. I think, yeah, don't be better than the Buddha. Have you tried? We haven't tried. And those people who have tried, who have attained and be able to develop a skill of how to calm the mind, they have the confidence. They say, yes, we are the witness of the Buddha's teaching. And it's true. Real happiness can only be found within our mind. Because our mind created all this suffering within ourselves because of this craving, this great hatred delusions. So remember, I won't give any more talk so that you can digest it more easily. First thing, you must meditate. Most of the Buddhists, we only good in dana, doing dana, reading sutta, chanting, but we seldom meditate. And we meditate, they're scared they will go mad. I'm scared to meditate. After I go mad, how? You don't worry, you don't meditate already, we are mad. Mad about so many things externally. We meditate to be less mad. So that you don't be so mad about everything that happens in your life. You can take things more easily. You can see things more clearly when your mind is calm. Okay? And that will be the sharing for today. And transfer the merit. Rapana. Today is the Magha Puja. It's an important day in Buddhism where it's an auspicious day where there was a great grand meeting of 1,250 Arahant without appointments. Right? They went to assemble and the Buddha expounded the Patimokkha. That means the training rules. The training rules for the monk. So what we say is very important because in this era, 2021, Buddhism has progressed since the Buddha's time until now and has been spread into Western country. And a lot of people, especially monks who are going abroad, they never upkeep or uplift the standard of the Buddha's teaching. And thus, they were living very recklessly and carelessly, and they didn't care about outkeeping the training rules, right? They always say that, we go overseas, nobody know. You thought as though people are stupid, people don't see. They just don't say. But if you were to adhere to the training rules and upkeep, there are people, good-hearted people, even though they are not Buddhists, they will get interested, they will get inspired to come and find out more, to come and listen, to come into for the trainings, even though they haven't been committed to what is the teaching is all about. This is something the Buddha said. If you upkeep the training rules, the teachings sincerely and faithfully, you inspire those people who doesn't know will get inspired. Those who has know already, their faith will increase, and those who have increased will be want and be interested in the training even more to find out. So this is the way we call it the skillful way of approach. We Buddhists should train ourselves rather than being ignorant and say that enough, and this is I can only do this much and that's it. No, we are living beings. We are human beings that can seek for progress. Don't just stop there. Never say, I'm too old, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. It's all bullshit. You can do all kind of nonsense thing, but you can do. But you can't do. I can't chant. Always have the excuse, the brain is too slow, this and that. No. All these are defilement. All these are laziness coming to excuse, finding excuse. Same thing. People say they're too old to walk. Every time I say, let's go for a walk. No, I'm too old, this and that. I go shopping center, can walk the whole day in the shopping center. This one cannot walk. Can you see the contrast? You got to have this kind of comparison. Why? Because we're attached to what? Comfort. We're scared. We don't want to be trained. But yet we want married. I want married. So you see, no, you got to train. There must be a exchange. There's a sacrifice you must make. Nothing comes freely. Let me tell you, nothing comes freely. Especially if you want to have a peace state of mind. You got to really put in the effort. And we're talking about the heat and the hardship. You look at those pioneer people who built up Australia, those pioneers who come to this country before there were road, before there was those people constructing the road, they got to face all kinds of difficulty, 10 times, 100 times more than us. And this road has already been created smoothly. Just walk on it. People say, all kind of excuses. Just reflect how weak our human mind nowadays, how weak we are, and how ignorant we are, full of excuse. It's just like meditations, sitting in meditations, or doing walking meditation, or some trainings. We're not asking people to go and plant rice, no. Right? You look at the farmer. Even the farmer want to have rice, they got to spend 6 months. They got to clear the soil. They got to chop down the tree, wait for 2 months before the wood is dry, and they got to burn it, clear it, fence it, before they can even do cultivation. You look at the hardship people have been through, and yet people can bring food, pure food. All these food are very pure because it's from the hardship, and we also must be very appreciative in receiving the food because it's from the hardship of people who have sacrificed their time, and their life, the blood, sweat, everything in order to get this food, and we just receive the food and we eat it. We must take it with appreciative. So it's very important to have the gratitude. Always think to have the gratitude, like those pioneer monks who has come to Australia, even though they may not be able to speak English or teach us the Dhamma, but yet what they have left behind, the hardware is what? A temple, even though they may not leave anything. So if we are here, we must be appreciative and have the gratitude to carry on that we are the software, we improve, and we don't run down on people that, they never do anything. No, we shouldn't have this kind of mindset. We should have the gratitude that, we must thanks all these forefathers, all these pioneers, they have laid out the foundation, so the later people who come later, they just use the venue and enjoy the facility. So we must be appreciative to have the gratitude. This is very important because sometimes when junior people, they come into the religion, they always forget about gratitude. They always condemn. They never do this, they never do that. No, we should be appreciative. We are the software. Like for example, when we were back in our hometown, at first, a lot of people also condemn the same thing. They never do that. No. You say you are wrong. You must be appreciative. We got to be thankful because if without the four pioneer sacrifices of establishing a place, even though it's a rundown place, but there's what we call the land is around. It is our duty to just continue, try to set out and be good and try to make full use of it. And that is why it's so important to emphasize on gratitude and appreciate. This is something we overlook. When you go for the trainings, when you go for, you come to the temple, you need to keep your eye closed. No, beside eye closed, then who wash the toilet? Who maintain the surroundings? We got to do all these things, not the eye closed only. So there's something we got to sometimes change our mental mindset. Then we won't offend anyone. Then people look at us that, we're a group of people who know what is called gratitude. We know how to appreciate people's sacrifices. Then people will be very happy and at ease. This is what we call heart to the heart. Using the heart to touch people's heart. People use their sacrifices. Remember, there's something we mustn't forget, that we are the later generation. That's why you see the Buddha. The Buddha never run down on old people. Never. You look at what the Buddha is teaching. The Buddha always remind the youngster to have gratitude to their parents, to their ancestors. Why? Because this is a thing that will happen. And in this kind of society we are in, there has never been emphasized on what this kind of value. That's why it has been forgotten. And we only take on the knowledge side, on the training side, when neglecting all this moral, good value, good human value, because it's something we cannot neglect. If we overlook this, finish, then we don't talk about training the mind. Bullshit. We can't even be gratitude to the founder, that's the Buddha. Can't be gratitude to our parents who have given us birth. Can't even be gratitude to the people who bring us food. What kind of training is that? So remember, today is Magha Puja, where the Patimokkha, just so we have a Patimokkha, it's all the restraint. And of course, the Buddha also did say that if certain thing, the society, that means majority of people supported the monk, they disagree because it's not Dhamma, then we shouldn't do, even though it's not Vinaya. Never state that, but people not very sensitive of certain issue. We shouldn't do. We always must also know how people feel. This is something very important. But of course, we are not going to give in to people's defilement. No, we must take the Dhamma first, right? Also, we must apply the sensitivities within all parties so that the community, both the monks and the lay people, can live harmoniously and happily. If you go to a temple, people who are sad, when they come to the temple, they listen to the Dhamma, they go back, they feel relief. Okay. But if they come to the temple, they are not happy, they have all kinds of remorse, thought arising, triggering their emotion, then it's wrong. Something is wrong. So this is for your information so that we should take in mind. And that will be the sharing for today. We live in a place that is well supported, and we must know how to appreciate the supporting of the four requisites. And that's very important. I was studying these lay people last time. I remember when I was a young monk, I was living in northern Thailand, and we were on a Tudong trip. So we walk on the night time. So we take shelter in an umbrella, and we don't know whether the village is how far away or what. And morning we went to Binabat, and to my discovery, there were three of us, Ajahn, myself, and Champong. So what happened is no one, they saw us and just ran to the house. I said, why? And we went to one shop, small shop, and we stand in front of the shop, and the shop said, we are Christian, we don't sai bat. That means we don't give food to the monk. So one of my Ajahn asked that lady, who's the owner of the shop, do Christian have mouth? She said, yes. Do Christian have stomach? Yes. Do Christian know what is called hunger? Yes, I'm hungry now. Straight straight away she give us each one one bag of this glutinous rice. Each one bag and a barbecue chicken backside. Barbecue chicken thigh, chicken backside. And that was our meal for the day. And sometimes we went with the bar. The lay people, the rice wasn't cooked, not ready. We don't know their timing. We went too early, but we always engage it by the smoke. We see the house, the whole village start fire, then there'll be smoke, and we smell smoke. Oh, they're cooking now. Then after 15 minutes, we just walking. Normally we will have food. That day we went and we don't know them. So I was tall enough, so I shake their roof. Their roof is made of bamboo. And they have this, what do you call that? To secure the rooftop, they have this long bamboo stick which protrude out both ends of the edge of the building. So I shake the wood to give them, to signal to them, hey, there's someone coming. Because no one did that before, so they thought it was earthquake or what. And we waited for 20 minutes, and the lady come, oh, there's mom. Oh, our rice is not cooked after 20 minutes. We waited for 20 minutes. And she said that the rice is not cooked. I said, oh. So these are all the experiences which is quite fun to listen, but it's quite harsh and demoralizing and very challenging when we are on a trip. In this kind of trip, it's not pre-planned, not pre-planned like what we are doing here in Australia. Working with the lay people, you just walking with mom, then will be fun. But sometimes you got to, people to participate to create awareness, both for the benefit of body and mind. And this is something that we got to preserve. Especially we're talking about meditations, the calming of the mind. Everybody got a breath, just that we forgot to breathe. We forgot to watch the breath. When I was reading Timecodes books, every time just watch the breath. Every time it's time watch the breath. And until we can calm the mind by watching the breath, then we find that, it's so beneficial. Why the Buddha said that keeping the breath in mind, so that our mind, we have an anchor point, so that our mind, even though it's thinking of other things, is still anchored to this breath. The breath is a resting spot for the mind. Most of the people, they have concentrations, they have the power of the mind, and they are always mentally exhausted, and they can only replace it by sleeping. But if you know how to develop a skill in watching the breath, then it is more beneficial to benefit our mind and body. Because why? All this event of engagements and chores that we do, sometimes you can see emotion coming up, dissatisfaction coming up, all kinds of thoughts coming up. And we need the base, the power of the base cushion of the mindfulness. This is very important. If not, we'll be carried away by this trail of thoughts and coupled with frustrations, dissatisfaction, unwholesome feelings is arising within us and make us feel lousy, right? And we don't enjoy working. We must enjoy what we are doing. We will feel the joys if we are mindful. If you are mindfulness of your own breath, that means you can gain strength every now and then. Every time focus back to the breath, focus back to the breath, focus back to the breath. Keep bringing back to the breath until it becomes a second nature. Even though you may pause for 30 seconds, a few seconds, but instead of doing external things, you just switch your attention to the breath. And you find it helps a lot. It helps a lot. It straight away relieves you of the tensions that is building up in the mind, or tensions that is building up in the body. So the more you meditate, the more you should be very, very sensitive to the reactions of the body and the emotion that's arising within our mind. This is very important, because this is how we deal with ourselves. If we can't even deal with our own mind, then we don't talk about solving external problems, because it's based on bias, liking and disliking. There's no center point. There's no what we call taking the Dhamma first. It's based on how you feel, liking and disliking, but you base on the power of samadhi, and the intentions. Then things will be very clear now. So it's important. It's important. A lot of people, they got carried away by the jobs, and you don't know how to balance out. So your mind always keep thinking, can't stop, and you don't know how to make it stop. So the breath is the best. You just initially you got to force it a bit. When I say force, you really got to like a small kid, you got to whack. You don't have to have. Sometimes you cannot just give in that metta. No. Sometimes you got to whack. It's too stubborn, you got to whack. You can't reason things out anymore because sometimes it's just a cancer disease. When the cancer disease is too harsh, too stubborn, you got to give harsh dose in order to control. Likewise with our mind. When our mind is can't be controlled anymore, you find that every time you want to meditate, you just get agitated and you just don't want to meditate. Now, this is something you got to work with. That means you got to really force in and okay, go to the breath, and then the mind will rebel. No, we don't have to go to the breath. This is not, you see, this, no, this is tithi. This is mana tithi. This is defilements of the mind. The defilement always dispute, preventing us from doing goodness. If we were to believe what the Buddha teach, we should, practice what the Buddha preach. That, okay, develop mindfulness of breathing. And we are able to do it every time, every day. Make it a habit every day, day in, day out. And the consistencies of doing things must be there. The consistent, that means every day. You got to do it every day. Just taking rest. The problem we are not improving is that there's no consistency. Just like chanting or doing anything. There's no consistency. Sometimes we want to memorize and then we can't even remember. We just, don't have to. The mind just pop out a thought. Don't have to. That's it. You just don't want to do anymore. And you're doing something that you're not supposed to do. Now, then you see how the mind deteriorates. And this later you base on your liking. Then I do. I don't like, I don't do. Then this is not training anymore. So remember our duty. We must memorize the abati, the confessions part. Memorize it properly so that we won't be sometimes the kind of feeling that, hey, how come I can't chant properly? Because we never put in the effort. This is very important. So remember. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva beva nitotina petana upakapatit ichita badita dumha kipameva samichatu sape purentu sankapa Chandho Panaraso Yatha Manicho Diraso Yatha Tiya Vivanjando Samharo Govina Saduma Devava Vandarayo Sukhi Digayo Go Bhava Viva Tana sile sanicca buddha vajayino cakaro dhamma vatanti ayuvanno sukhang alaya samipade se kapete vasa parita jatiyo sila vadeta mocetava sanyate brahmacharino Yadata devata sunta sadakina madise Tapucita pujayanti marita manayadina Tatonang anukampanti mata puta vaurasang Devata nukampito poso satabarani pasati Bhavatu sa pamanggalang rakadu sa badevata Sabba Buddha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakadu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhamma Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakadu Sabba Devata Sabba Sangha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te